enough. Let's go. Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered. And today I have a treat for you guys. Today, Joseph Harush Kadouri is joining me. As you all know, Joseph likes to eat spicy food. He adds the community. But beside that, he's an excellent researcher. Joseph was my co-founder in Dustico. I'm sure we will have fun listening to behind the scenes of what's happening, tracking supply chain attackers. Welcome, Joseph.
Thank you, Tzachi. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
Same here. So, for our millions of listeners, Joseph, we've been dealing with supply chain attackers on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Can you share with us one of the more bizarre incidents you've been involved with?
Bizarre.
Bizarre.
Yeah, the most bizarre thing we saw, right? Most bizarre thing we saw. Okay, so it happened on the night of DEF CON, I think DEF CON last year. You presented on DEF CON, I was at the hotel, and I got a call from our analysts saying we have something a bit different happening on Pipeline. So it was a malicious package. We see a lot of malicious packages. And what we discovered, it's downloading the C2 is actually a GitHub repository.
So they were using GitHub as their C2 for commands?
For downloading the custom build executable, undetected on VirusTotal, and to also deliver commands configuration to whoever infected with this malware.
Smart. Most organizations wouldn't suspect traffic to and from GitHub.
Yeah, and there are plenty of open source packages that actually, by design, fetch some additional files, pre-compiled files from GitHub, like from the releases page. Anyway, we did reverse engineering and we discovered a very sophisticated malware, very impressive malware. We reported this repository to GitHub security team and waited until they handled this report. We continue monitoring the repository, and then we saw the attacker making changes, like sending new commands.
So because you were tracking the repo, you were able to see in real time him sending commands to his botnet?
Exactly. And we saw, after we did the reverse engineering, we saw it adds in his custom configuration language for all of his infected botnets. Now you're going to DDoS a very specific IP address.
What was this IP address?
We also asked ourselves the same question, and we Googled it up, and we discovered it was a Russian Counter-Strike server.
The game?
The old game, 1.6 server. Still, we have community servers, standalone servers. So the threat actor just wanted to DDoS a Russian Counter-Strike server. That's the most bizarre thing. Now, I love Counter-Strike. I play Counter-Strike a lot. Now it's like the modern releases of Counter-Strike. So I challenged the threat actor. I opened the ticket while the repository was still live, challenging, I see what you're doing here. Let's do a one-on-one match. If I win, you're going to stop this stupid operation.
And what happened?
He bailed out. He didn't accept the challenge, and GitHub closed the repository. It was the most bizarre thing I saw, like a very impressive malware built on custom language, built customly, zero undetected on VirusTotal, and just to DDoS this whatever Russian Counter-Strike server. Why investing that amount of effort to do that silly thing? I mean, most bizarre thing.
So Joseph, you actually built an A team of researchers focusing around supply chain attacks. Can you share some of the things you did to get the right culture inside the team?
I wanted to create a culture of information sharing. Researchers like to know stuff, but don't like to share stuff.
They find that a bit waste of their time sometimes.
Yeah, they're like cocky,
A bit cocky, that's
a bit
right.
cocky. So I like to answer questions on Stack Overflow for like over 10 years.
So I think you're one of the top 1% of Stack Flow contributors?
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
It's a great honor, but I wanted the team to also live this culture of information sharing and living open source. So I created a competition inside of the team, a leaderboard of whoever gets the most Stack Overflow points get a prize every week.
So those are just questions around their day-to-day work?
Not necessarily, just to like help random developers whatever they find, as high points they get the prize every week.
So it's more about the culture of helping, not knowing more.
Yeah, culture of helping, also leaving open source, like, get around with problem solving and information sharing, like experience on that. It was very successful. We had high motivation around this project, and we had to stop it after a couple of months.
What was the prize?
Like ice cream.
So it's
like candies, yeah, like an honor, like
it's
the
a
greatest
bragging
prize.
honor.
Bragging honor, yeah. So we had to stop it after a couple of months.
Why?
Tal, like every week got the highest score. So she invested the majority of her time answering questions on Stack Overflow.
So just to be clear, it's not just answering questions on Stack Overflow, right?
It's writing the most understandable answer. You train in delivering a message, a short and accurate message to whoever poor developer trying to solve a problem, landing on your answer. What we discovered is even answering on older questions on Stack Overflow with plenty of answers, if you give the right answer, it slowly gets reputation over time because it's a good answer.
So why is that important for your researchers?
Because a lot of good researchers are thinking that they don't need to explain because it's simple, because it's simple for them. I wanted to create a culture that you have a good expertise, you have good knowledge, and you can also share it among people who don't know it.
So it's kind of a soft skill. It's not teaching them technology.
Exactly.
It's the soft skill of how to explain the idea or helping others.
That helped create the A team and small team of researchers.
That's great. By the way, can you share the tools that they use, like the leaderboard?
Yeah, it's open source.
What is the biggest threat that you feel people don't realize moving forward?
As we've seen recently on Snowflake incident, we have info stealers stealing credentials from personal computers. Sadly, this being sold on the underground market for threat actors, and then sensitive information is being stolen, such as we saw on Snowflake incident.
So basically, they took the credentials that were stolen, another threat actor, and used that to steal the data with that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now, there is a mindset of let's enable MFA, and it's true for interactive logins, like if you log into your bank account.
Yeah.
Like you get challenged, like an MFA challenge.
MFA is great.
However, for software developers, for software systems, there's the need for automating things, and you can't do MFA. So you use API tokens, personal access tokens, all kind of automated tokens. And this is bypassing the MFA mechanism. So if your personal access token is being stolen, it happens a lot. Sadly, for software developers, this is not enough. Besides, username and password logins, you have tokens, API tokens.
Why do I need an API token if I have a username and password?
So imagine you're having a script, a system that needs to get access for a resource, but automatically, not
automation.
interactively, automated system.
So for automation, we have this token that basically bypass 2FA?
Yeah, exactly. They get access just using the single password. It's a long token, but this is the mechanism. This is how it's designed. And this is, if this token is being stolen
by an info stealer.
By any info stealer, not the username and password, just the token, you have just a single password to bypass MFA. That's crazy.
So you're saying, let's do MFA, but it's not necessarily enough because of this, because of the tokens and the need for automation.
If your token is being stolen, your MFA is garbage. It doesn't, worthless.
So how can we protect against this token theft?
So we can reduce the scope of permissions of access of automated tokens. We can have, for systems that support it, restrictions of access, for that specific endpoint or server or machine, only those can access the token. If we can put as many controls as we can, it's going to reduce the potential damage. So for example, GitHub has the old-fashioned personal access token, which gives you widest scope of access to your account. But there is, I think last year they launched it, fine-grained tokens, where you can actually just use the minimum as possible repository level access for tokens you create.
So even if you can't necessarily stop it completely, you can minimize the damage.
Yeah. So must be like a mindset of software makers that support such authentication mechanisms to also develop reduced scope of API tokens, automated tokens.
So, Joseph, what conference are you heading to? What's your next conference?
Paris.
Oh, what's in Paris?
AI_dev by Linux Foundation. We're presenting together, Tzachi.
So, our next episode will be in Paris. Look me up at the Eiffel Tower if you want to do another episode.
I'll bring croissants.
You'll bring croissants, I'll bring a baguette. And that's all for today, guys. See you next time. Take care.